Oh,
are you introducing?
yeah, I got this. We're
Okay.
live. Hello. Oh my gosh. Wow.
How
It's
do we start that episode? We said something that we were saying off air, but okay.
it doesn't matter. It's cool. It's fine. Yo, hi, good evening.
Oh, yo,
Even
hi. Good morning.
hello there.
Good
Hey,
afternoon.
how are you? It's 2:50 in the afternoon,
On the East
March
Coast.
10th. EST if you're on that part of the globe. This is the Catr and the Kenard podcast. I am Chris Kenard. There on my right is on my right is Mr. Michael A. Freeman, aka the Mad Catr.
The Matt Catr.
Um, Hi, hello, good
Hi.
afternoon. How are you?
This is the Catr and Kenard podcast, and we are two. I mention it all the time. We're two Bimmers, graduates of the Broadcasting Institute of Maryland.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. On the docket right away. Today, like I said, is March 10th. It is the 14th day of Lent. I'm a Catholic. I don't think you're Catholic, but I think we should get in, participate in some form of. I think we should get in on that and give
Yeah,
up something until April 9th, I believe, is when the practice ends.
yeah, the Saturday before Easter.
No, of course don't know that.
I'm not
Um,
a Catholic, but I mean, I was brought up Catholic. Right now, I just say agnostic. But it's
I
cool.
would paint myself as a skeptical Christian, and we can get into that
I
another
saw
time.
that on Facebook.
Yeah, but you already know the vibes.
I'm gonna follow the Lent for this episode. So
Right.
yeah.
So why don't you start then? What musically, what are you going to give up until April 9th?
So that's the project, was to give up something musically, and we had
Yeah.
talked about it. I think the last episode, and I think I had said I might give up a certain artist. Like if it comes up on my iPod, I might skip it. But I
Hmm.
decided to give up my pride and joy, which is a Stevie Ray Vaughan reference, but give up my pride and joy CDs. And
Hmm.
I
You're gonna
listen to my CDs in my vehicle, so I'm not listening to any CDs. I finished up my last CD. I'm going to burn in hell for this, but I probably listened to my last CD, finished it up during Lent. But this was before I
yeah.
decided.
Start today, It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Uh, that's kind of, I'm joking. But I probably started listening to it during Lent, um, or finished it, but um, I have decided not to listen to any CDs until the day before Easter. Um, and that isn't my primary. I keep scratching my head for no reason, but
That's fine.
it's a nervous tick, man. And but anyway, we I decided it's not my primary source of music because I have iTunes, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Um, I also, once the music is on my iTunes, like I'll upload music when I finish the CD. And that could be a whole nother episode, my process. Um, and after I listen to the CD, I put it into my computer. It's very detailed process. It'll probably give you a migraine headache. But I put the CD in. I put and once it comes up on iTunes, um, I will. Well, actually, the first thing I do is I read about the CD on iTunes. I look at the what is it? There's two things on iTunes, and I'm have it up here. As an example, I'm bringing up a CD by Fantagram. They have a new CD that's on the front, and there's two things. I like to read under songs, it's iTunes review, and then you go under ratings and review, and there's sometimes, and right now for this Fantagram CD, there's nothing, but there's two reviews, and it's not always the case. Some CDs don't have anything, and that baffles me. Like there's popular artists out there with CDs that, and I call them professional reviews. I'm not sure the exact term, but it's not just some random iTunes user review. These are people that work for a third party company, I guess. There was one guy who actually passed away. He was the lead singer of a group called Brownsville Station. They were a one-hit wonder during the 70s. They had a song called Smoking in the Boys' Room. Familiar with that song?
I'm not.
And not Poison, Motley Crue did a cover of it. Because they did. But they also did a cover of Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. Don't make me sing, Catr. I'm a Kenard. But anyway.
You sing on your own, bud.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so he after he was done with Brown, I think they were only a 70s band, but later on in his life, he decided to write reviews for like these third-party companies here. And I remember him seeing his name. Sometimes when you read these reviews on iTunes, at the end, it will have somebody's name at the end, but it doesn't say right now. I consider that as a career, actually, to do that, to write, because I love writing and I love music. But anyway, so I usually read the reviews. If I've read prior to the putting the CD into my computer, if I've read an artist's whole biography, that for example, the last CD I listened to was John Lennon. I told you about this off the air. John Lennon and Yoko Ono CD. It's primarily known as a John Lennon CD, but it's labeled as John. I mean, I think they both produced it, actually, Yoko Ono. So I had already read John Lennon's biography, which, strangely enough, is not on iTunes anymore. Now, if you went to the Beatles on iTunes, if you went to their biography, you would read a little bit about John Lennon under there, but I don't know why it's gone. But since I already had read John Lennon's biography, when I put the Double Fantasy CD in, there was a biography, I would just go to the part where it talks about when he released that CD. But it was gone. I was like, what? So, like I said, I usually read the 2 reviews if they have them, and I read the biography. If I don't know anything about the artist or I haven't read the full biography, I will. But the John Lennon thing, I can't believe that's gone. I don't know. You and I both are perplexed on things with iTunes. So shorts. Get back to the point. That's the last CD I listened to, was the John Lennon CD, and I have a CD queued up in my vehicle, ready for the day before for Easter, and that will be the next time I listen to music. But I just listen to my iPod now, and I listen when I the only time I really listen to my iPod is when I take a walk, and I walk from my house. I walk in the north direction, circle around, because at one end is a dead end, and then the other end is a dead end. So I walk in the north direction. I come back past my house. I walk south toward the end, circle around, and come back to my house. You're probably wondering how I get out of my neighborhood. Well, I messed up. The south direction is not a dead end. The north direction is a dead end. But I go to the end of the street in the south and I come back to my house. That's 1.5 miles. So yeah, sometimes I walk just 1.5 miles. Every now and then I walk 2 times, so 3 miles. And I have to say, I don't think any of our episodes have been brought to you by anything, but today's episode is brought to you by exercise. I cannot recommend exercise highly enough. And that's all I'm going to say about exercise, but I just want to make sure our listeners know exercise is a great, 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 great thing. So what I was talking to you before we started this shindig, which is our episode number 9, was that I was told by a doctor last year that definitely take walks, definitely exercise. And I told her I like to listen to my iPod when I walk. And I said I have some negative music on my iPod. And little backstory, when I first got my iPod, dog, that was probably about 15 years ago, for Christmas, my brother noticed what songs I started putting on my computer to go into my iPod. Like, one example, oddly enough, is Imagine by John Lennon. That's not really a happy song. And then another song, I can't remember. It was a ballad. It was a sad ballad. And my brother said, why are you putting all this sad music onto your iPod? So I have a mix. I really do. I have a mix between sad songs and happy songs. And I can give you some example. One of my favorite, I'll just say one song. One of my favorite positive upbeat songs is from the 80s. Is called Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. A really popular one-hit wonder song, a wonder band. And I know I'm going to guess Aramide might be listening. Is he? Do you know?
We definitely had a listener at some point in the show, but they disappeared. So
he'll
probably listen later when we're finished streaming. And
Aramide was on episode 4, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to correct me. I know he is, about Katrina and the Waves, because they're not really a one-hit wonder.
I think they are.
They had a minor hit, which was covered by the Bangles. This is off the top of my head. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I have a mix between positive and some downer songs. And the doctor wanted me to go strictly to positive, I guess, when I take my walks. I kind of had a problem with that, but
I really do.
Yeah, I do. But I do try to stay positive. That's kind of my thing, is to stay positive. But I think, but my thought, oddly enough, when I was walking yesterday, I came up with this conversation in my head, and I was thinking, like, that's what the radio is. The radio is all positive songs. Now, there's you disagree with that?
Nope. I can safely say, from middle school till now, you couldn't, like, because when you say that, it makes you think of like the top 40 format. All right, you know what? No. Okay, I think if I'm keeping it real, I would say that the only genres on radio that like consistently play like positive feedback music are like Christian stations, like gospel stations and CCM stations, because through Christ, like, you find salvation and love and stuff like that. Certainly, like, people like describe like testimonies and such, and like trials and tribulations, but at the core of each of these songs, there's like a positive reinforcement. There's hope, joy, all that good stuff. Top 40 and stuff, you can forget about it. Like, we have songs like Mr. Brightside that are played every single day. That's not a happy song, but people certainly get happy when they hear it because they like the Killers and such.
You don't think Mr. Brightside's a happy song?
it is not a happy song not at all. Like, it's about a dude talking about a girl that he's hung up over, and he happens to see her getting it down with some other dude.
Okay. But it's an upbeat song for a sad
high energy for sure. High energy is certainly high energy, but like it's very bleeding heart. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a song. Oh, I'm not gonna mention it, but I know some songs.
What? No, back it up. Back up. What song?
No, I know. I'll say this. I know of songs that I might recommend this to you another time, but I know of upbeat songs with depressing lyrics.
Yeah, of course.
Depressing subject matters.
Yeah.
But if you listen to a classic rock station, you're going to hear Black Sabbath music. And we talked about Black Sabbath last episode, and I think I really messed up. I said that the CD Masters of Reality has this song, and I think I said that it was anti. Remember, we were talking about Geezer Butler. He tried to write a song that was anti-religious. I'm looking it up now. He wrote a song called, let's see. Oh, Pro God. Okay, never mind. And because I thought about it like yesterday, I think it was. Anti means against, pro means for. I thought I messed up. I thought it said anti on here, which would mean that they were against. They were trying. It says Butler, who was tired of defending Sabbath from Satanist charges. So let me get back to the point here. I was going to say that Black Sabbath is not upbeat music. You don't see the elderly in swimming pools walking to Black Sabbath music. They do not have upbeat music. There might be a song on Volume 4, which I talked about last episode. I really love Volume 4. I think there's an instrumental song that's upbeat because they were on drugs when they did Volume 4. So they did some experimental stuff on there, and which isn't typical Black Sabbath. They were really creative. I can't believe it took drugs for them to be creative. I'm very creative. I've never done drugs in my life.
Let me stop you right there, buddy. Hold on just a minute. Let me hold on just a minute there. I think that around that period in the band's career, one could say they're being creative in a different way. Because who's to say that they weren't being creative all those past albums? You know what I mean? Like, Black Sabbath created heavy metal with their first project. It's just that, like, at that point in their career, like, the money's flowing in, the fame, like, they're a big name. So, of course, like, they're going to buy things that they want that they weren't able to buy before. Lots of liquor, lots of, I don't know, maybe some powder, maybe some greenery, what have you. Just like, and just like with those influences.
The first song is called Sweetleaf.
Yeah.
How much more drug can you get than what is that word? PAEN? Paean. Have you heard that word?
Huh?
PEAN.
No, I don't know what that is. But it's all I'm saying is that
an ode. Sweetleaf is an ode to drugs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about poems. Oh man. All I'm saying is that, like, not to derail you, but just like when because I'm straight edge as well, but just like I don't want to discount all like the ingenuity and like creativity that went into all the previous projects prior to this particular album we're speaking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I actually messed up. Sweetleaf is not on Volume 4. Sweetleaf is on Master Reality. But I will say this. I said this in the last episode. The song Snowblind is about drugs. And they were ready to name their album. Trying to find it as I'm talking. They were about to name Volume 4 Snowblind, and it was going to be their title track, but yet I guess the record a mid-tempo. Okay, let's see. The core of Volume 4 lies in the mid-tempo cocaine ode Snowblind, which was originally slated to be the album's title track until the record company got cold feet and the multi-section prog-leaning opener Wheels of Confusion. What? And the multi... Okay. So, yeah, cold feet. They got cold feet. They didn't want the album being... I guess they didn't want other people to be influenced and start taking drugs, but that was originally going to be called Snowblind, and that's an ode to cocaine. And I just think, like people say, Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti is very creative. They might have been on drugs too. The Beatles' White Album was very creative. They might have been on drugs. I don't even know what I originally was talking about. I was just talking about positive music.
Let me bring you back. Let me offer a detour because I'm taking a look at our live counter. We're at like 21 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. I want to wrap up our brief Lent discussion into like the main course of the meal. March Cattrness. So
yes.
Before we get started, I wanted to just say that for me personally, as a skeptical Christian, I people that practice Lent to like give up what they really enjoy to like focus on God and stuff. And I think about my obsession with the variety of music that I listen to and the bands that I enjoy. And recently I've had no telephone. And I would stream Spotify and YouTube on my phone all the time. But with my phone, like just like failing to hold a charge, I was just going iPod every day. And I'm thinking to myself, what would be more significant to my daily life? Like me just like leaving the iPod at home or just like giving up an artist? Because with all the music that I enjoy, it would be too easy for me to give up one artist because the band I thought was the band I'm wearing right now, Dance Gavin Dance. With their this is my artificial selection t-shirt that my girlfriend bought for me.
So you're doing a musical reference for the episode. Cool.
Oh, I have another one too, but I'll get to that in a moment. But like I'm like, oh, too easy. Because like, if I don't listen to Dance Gavin Dance, okay, I can listen to Emma Rosa, I can listen to Royal Coda, I can listen to Cianvar, and I'm like, no, way too easy. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb. And I'm not sure I want to go the whole way because I'm a punk. No, not in like the musical sense, but I'm a coward. So like, I'm not gonna go the whole way, but I will at least leave my iPod at the house until next episode, round 2 of Mad Catrness. Like, I'll see how that goes and see how I like it because right now I have plenty of books to read and such, but like I crave music. Like I love music more than sugar. So like, I'll see how that goes and see how I feel like is being away from my best friend.
That's good because sugar isn't very healthy. So I would rather listen to music than eat sweets. I think you should go the whole way though.
Well, you'll check in with me on round 2 of March Cattrness and we can see because if I'm having a bad time, I'm stopping. But like,
I'm not the Pope. I'm not a priest. So
okay. So we'll Papa don't preach. Let's start. See exactly. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Like, let's set the stage, shall we? What?
No. I was going to say that's a kind of a Black Sabbath reference because Madonna originally did Papa Don't Preach, but Kelly Osbourne, Ozzy's daughter, did a cover of it.
Nope, not even related. Nope. You mentioned this last episode too. Nope. We're not
When
going to
did
go
I
down.
mention, you said Papa don't preach.
I most certainly did, but I'm not going to let like the metal elitists in our comment section blow us up for making a vague parallel. Nope, not happening. We're not going down that path.
Whatever. Talk
Exactly.
about the basketball.
Okay, there's two hoops and a guy in a white and black shirt and lots of tall fellows doing cool athletic stuff. We're not here for that. Like, I played basketball in high school. I was really bad. So instead of that, I listen to music. Here we are. It's March Catrness 2020. We in this corner, my corner, hello, we have Kenards Kelvins up against on that corner. Hold on, wait. Yes, there we go. On that corner, we have Michael and his Maniacs.
Yeah,
You've
come up with these names on your own.
All off the top of the head.
And I'm very good with puns, and I let you do this.
Yeah, well, thank you for letting me have my moment in the sun. Tell me, who is your starting lineup for round 1 of March?
Oh, yeah. If I, without looking, I gave you.
Wait. Hold on. I have to stop you because I don't have my 4 in front of me. But do you have all 8 songs or do you have your 4?
I have. You gave me a sad face in the message.
Yeah, that was like a while ago.
Yeah,
like, do you have all 8 songs in front of you? Because I don't, and I'm embarrassed. So I'm like,
no, don't be. I'll save your butt.
You have all. Do you have?
I don't even know what your butt looks like. So, but I'll save it. Like if you had a lineup of butts, I wouldn't be able to tell which one is yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird flex, but all right.
So
you're looking for 2, aren't you? Okay, fine. I will do the
subject, man. I got them.
No, I'm gonna try and find them too because I have your 4 obviously because I had to pick 2 of your. Let me before I say anything, before I ramble on.
The rules. Refresh the listeners with the rules.
Yes. You read my mind. Perfect. Listeners, dear listeners, this is March Catrness. In round 1, we each chose 4 songs for each other to listen to. And here we're going to this debate our winners and losers. I'm going to pick my favorite 2 songs that Michael recommended me and talk about my least favorite 2. He'll do the same for me. We will then have 2 winners, all right? Or 2 winning songs, rather. At the conclusion of this episode, we're going to recommend each other 3 more songs. And then for the next episode of March Catrness, we're going to choose 1 from those 3 we selected for round 2. We will then have 3 winning songs. And then with those 3 winning songs, we will hand those songs off to our assistant coach, like a friend of ours, who listen to these songs, and they will pick their favorite. And then we'll go to the championship round and debate who will be the ultimate winner of the crown of March Catrness.
Okay, I got them.
You got all 4?
All 4.
Or rather, all 8?
All 8, yes.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Please.
Here's the thing about the songs that I recommended you. The songs that I recommended you were in the month. We were in the month of February.
That makes no difference.
It didn't have to be, but I made sure that they were all Black artists or groups. And I think they're all artists, single art. No, one's a group. So the first one I recommended you.
Do all 4, not just 1 on 1, all 4.
Yeah, but the first one of the 4 is Everyone's a Winner. I told you to choose by Hot Chocolate. I told you to listen to the single version.
I did.
The second song is Got to Be Real by Cheryl Lynn. The third song, and you're going to talk a little bit about this. We're going to talk a little bit about backstories of some of these artists. Terrence Trent D'Arby from the album Symphony or Damn. The song's called Wet Your Lips. And then the 4th song is Will It Go Round in Circles by Billy Preston. So, do you want to?
Those are the Mike's Maniacs. Who are the other contestants?
The 4 that you gave me. I'm scrolling up so I can
I
see
can
it.
see.
It
I can actually see.
is a song by Cole, and then it's the number 3 Train, Trane, and it's called X dot X dot. The next one is Square Pusher and a song called Cooper apostrophe S World. You're gonna have to help me with this one. Is it Actong Musician?
Yeah.
And the song is called Around. And then the third song is I Am the Fool by the Brothers Landreth.
That's it.
And then that's it.
There you go.
That is the fourth. Okay.
Honestly, I'm very intrigued about who your winners and losers are. You go first.
Okay. Well, I did listen to all 4, and I definitely know who my 2 winners are and my 2 losers are.
Losers first.
So the first, let's see, I'm going to give you a winner.
No, I want the losers first.
Dinner.
Losers first.
What's that?
Losers first. Oh, you know what? Here we go. I got it. You do your losers, I'll do mine, and then we'll do our winners. Yeah?
No, I whatever. Sure. So you want me to do my what first?
Losers, mate. Losers.
Okay. So my losers. My first loser, going back to the list here. My first loser is going to be, which one do I say first? I am going to do XX by Coltrane.
Okay. Tell me why.
Okay, it's been a while since I listened to it, and I should have made notes because you told me I should make notes.
I told you.
It was why? It was. Let's see if I remember. And I watched them on YouTube, all of them. It was. Maybe it's the same thing that I've said about other songs you've recommended. It just didn't have a hook. Something to reel me in, which is a fishing reference there. But no, it just wasn't very hooky. It just wasn't very catchy to me. So that's my reason.
All right. What about the other one?
The other loser is the Brothers Landreth. I Am the Fool.
I'm surprised. Wow. Okay. Tell me why.
Well, now obviously you know who my winners are. You know,
I'm the fool. Why not I'm the fool?
It kind of sounded like songs I've heard before these days. So it just, I guess it sort of sounded like classic rock, which I
like it. Yeah.
I'm kind of a fan of. It's hard to pinpoint what kind of genre of music I like. But I would say that it just sounded formulaic.
Interesting. Very interesting that you would say that.
It's the very first time I think I've ever ushered the word formulaic. So bravo to me.
I guess. Huh. Wow. I guess we'll take the reins from there.
Yes,
right after episode Ocho ended, I listened to all 4 songs. I didn't want to waste any time.
Oh,
and
cool.
I knew how I felt immediately. I'm going to glance over to our document. And
you've been updating it, we're correct?
Nope. Nope. But I will tell you this. We were originally supposed to record on March 2nd, but you weren't able to do so. So instead, I went to episode 1 and I started annotating. I got through about half the episode and it's almost complete. I got an early start on the editing. So, you know, the gears are working, but I have not updated like the document since that point. And I think
explain to me, because I'm not real familiar with that word, annotating. What does that mean? I
will not tell you. I will let you Google it as I continue.
Okay. I can't do 10,000 things at the same time. So
I would never ask you. I would never ask you to do all that. I wouldn't ask you to do like 30 things at once. Do the one thing, and I'll keep yammering. It's just that I'm hoping that with me like going over every single second of the episode and making sure that like we're referring to every like significant part of the show. Like we probably won't even need like a document to keep track of what we're like recommending one another, because if we ever forget, we click to the episode. Oh, right down there. There's the timestamp. Bam. You know what I mean?
I think so. I was trying to think of the next thing I wanted to say. I think I can guess what annotating means. It means
Did you Google it?
where you're going to keep, like you said, you're going to make a document of all the references.
Yeah, like to all the listeners who may be wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Right now, like there's like a brief blurb in every episode of this show thus far, but I'm hoping by at the end of March Catrness, I can just go over and just like pull up links for all the songs that like we talk about on the show, all like the websites, artists, like I've been linking people's Twitter accounts, their blogs, what have you, just so like if anything goes like over your head or like is a little too convoluted, like you can click on a hyperlink and learn a little more on your own, listen for yourself to see how we feel or how you might feel about said thing. So
by the way, we are taking a hiatus.
Yeah, like in case you didn't listen to episode 8, at the conclusion of episode 12,
we might gain a new listener today, so you always have to help out the listener.
You're not wrong about that. Let me start with my first loser in this little bracket we have going on here. Yep. It was definitely "Gotta Be Real" by Cheryl Lynn, and okay.
Explain yourself.
The reason for that is that you know, you and I were in the retail environment professionally, and "Got to Be Real" is nationally syndicated. So no matter where you are in America, you're going to hear that song at least once if you're in public, be it the radio or a big box store. You're going to hear that song. If you have black friends, you're going to hear that song. If you go to like a kickback or a cookout or like some sort of like church function, some like, I don't know, if you're going to a mosque or a church or a synagogue, you're going to hear "Got to Be Real" at least one time in your life if you live in America. It's a great song, but unfortunately, because it's nationally syndicated, I hear it every day I'm at work. I'm so tired of it. And like, I never want to like shade Cheryl Lynn in any way, because like she is giving you the vocal performance of her entire career. And if there are any of the songs of hers that I should check out, listeners, that's your job. Point them out to me. Like, feel free to drop this episode into like Cheryl Lynn's inbox, wherever she might happen to do social media. But I knew right away. I looked at the name of the song. I'm like, I know I've heard this before. I recognize it. And I hear that. I'm like,
yep.
See, exactly. So definitely a no from me. The other one, as much as I hate to say it, I chose "Wet Your Lips" by Terrence Trent D'Arby, aka Sananda Maitreya. I may have butchered that pronunciation, so I apologize in advance. I will definitely leave in the show notes an article that The Guardian wrote in 2017 about why Mr. Darby became Mr. Maitreya. And the one thing I'll say, it's a quote in the title of the article. It says it was why Terrence Trent D'Arby became Sananda Maitreya. He says it was that or death. So ooh, I imagine it was a serious point of contention in his life. So I will leave that up to y'all to read. I'll even pass it to you personally, Michael, if you're interested.
Real quick, I have to cut you off. I'm looking in iTunes. That's where I found out. Before you told me, I knew that he changed his name. He
kept it all to yourself.
Made his oh yeah, okay. So it says Darby after obtaining the rights to his Java album, he went about starting his Sananda label and eventually issued Wildcard ! Through the internet. Darby had his name legally changed to Sananda
Sananda.
Maitreya, and by
Mhm.
the end of 2003, Wildcard had received official release in most territories. So tell me why you did not like Wet Your Lips.
What I appreciate about the song is that like you have like an enigma like musician like Darby, and most people only know Wishing Well, you know, like, and most people are probably like me, don't really like dip their toe too far into his work because
Yeah.
like it's off the beaten path. It was weird, and I love that it was weird. And so when I have like an artist like Sananda here who is giving me a product that like giving me like some sounds that I'm not used to hearing, I'm like, oh, I want to like I know like I knew right away like oh like, it's not really doing anything for me personally, but I'm like oh I want to learn more about what he was doing at that time because the only person I can think right now who's making weird enough R&B, not necessarily the same, but like in that same realm is Frank Ocean. So I'm thinking, maybe Frank Ocean was listening to Trent D'Arby at some point in his life because that's all I can think of when I hear his music. Maybe somebody like Bilal or someone in there just like that off the beaten path realm of rhythm and blues. So was certainly interesting. Was not bad in any way, shape, or form, but was not for me. So tell me about the songs that worked for you because I'm so excited about the ones that you chose for your winners.
Okay. So if you so the one off the top of my head because I don't have that up right now is the Square Pusher.
Cooper's World.
Yeah. And so that one, geez, I it's been a while because we were supposed to do an episode last week and that didn't happen.
That's fine.
And next time I'm taking notes. Because we're going to recommend some more songs today.
More today.
And so it was instrumental. Maybe that was part of it.
I left that in there. I left that song. I recommended that song intentionally just for that fact. I'm like, you know what? There's no lyrics, and he loves instrumental. I love instrumental, in my own weird kind of way. I'm like, I loved like just like the theater of the mind that song gave me personally. So you tell me more about that. About what that you
I don't want to say that every instrumental song is my favorite, but
I wouldn't assume that. No.
And so, but I definitely I'm not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be on my iPod, but I definitely. And I started actually early today. I started looking into Square Pusher to read about him.
Long ass career, great stuff.
Yeah, and he does drum and bass music, which I know you have mentioned before.
So much fun, yeah.
The other song,
Around by excellent musician.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I think I liked the singing in it. I think that's what I
knew it.
Like I said, it's been a while, but I wanted to real quick before you tell me about your winners. I was going to look on iTunes because if you bring up Frank Ocean, there's a thing when you bring up their biography on the right-hand side, it says influencers.
Influencers,
and it doesn't mention. It doesn't mention.
I'm not surprised.
But it does mention Prince, Kanye West, Pharrell Williams, Marvin Gaye, and Stevie Wonder.
Nevertheless, it's just that it's the only person I could think of that's in the in my little my mental bag of what's R&B that's unlike any because I don't want to say that all rhythm and blues sounds the same, but there is a genre standard that most people who participate follow. And I can't think I'd have to talk to somebody who was really into that sound at the time that he was popular. I don't really know anybody that I care for that sounds that weird in makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Frank is the only person that I can jump to immediately because, like, for me personally, he's like the face of like this alternative R&B movement, and I use that term with like air quotes because I specifically recall FKA Twigs from the UK. Oh, there's the sun. Here comes the sun. Let me turn that over here. I recall like FKA Twigs, UK R&B singer, like she resented the label of like alt R&B because like it like for her, and I'm off the top of my head, I don't remember the specific quote. I'll try and find the article where she said it. It was just like, oh, like because I'm alt R&B, I'm not gonna like get my song on like American R&B radio or like any like for any form of like radio that will play her, like, because you probably never even heard of FKA Twigs, have you?
No.
See, and like it's because the way that she makes music is so unlike most people in her age group or like in the genre she participates in. You know what I mean? It's very experimental, and I feel like experimental is a more appropriate and like way to describe what she's doing with the music. And the same way I feel about Trent D'Arby. Like this is like there's nobody that I can think of that's doing things like that. Like just so like off kilter and like bizarre and strange and like these are words that I speak of positively, but are words that could like alienate the artist. So like I want to like make sure that I'm treading lightly when I describe the songs, because like in my heart of heart, like it really didn't do anything. It didn't make me want to come back, but like well, like I recall listening to Frank Ocean for the first time, like his first professionally put out album Channel Orange. I heard it, and there were some songs that stuck out to me right away. But the weirder cuts, I didn't know how I felt, and I'm like, and at first I was like kind of upset that I didn't understand, like, oh, like I don't get it. It's I don't like it. But then over time, as I'm talking to people who love Frank's work, who followed his mixtapes, I took some time. Listen to it a second time, it made more sense. Perhaps when I listen to the whole symphony or damn album, I will appreciate Wet Your Lips more when I hear the whole product. But at first glance, like it didn't resonate with me.
I mean, my favorite part, the whole song's good, but my favorite part is at the end, near the end, as it comes to I guess you want to say crescendo. But okay. So tell me about your winners now.
I will most certainly do that. Was there anything more you wanted to add about Around by Akamu, or all you really sing that I like to sing it a lot? So like I wanted to like get your opinion as a person who does not listen to international music. Like, was the fact that the lyrics were in Korean, did that change how you felt about the song in any way? Like, did it feel like listening to any other song despite it not being in English?
No, I don't think it did anything.
Okay, that's all I really wanted to know. The two songs that I chose that I liked from you were Hot Chocolate, Everyone's Winner. Oh, everyone's the winner. Everyone's a winner. By Hot Chocolate. It's like and I know that the other one We'll Look Around in Circles, you were actually referenced in episode 1, and I forgot about that. So it was a nice little callback.
Oh, really? I mentioned it in our very first episode?
Yeah, because you mentioned We'll Look Around in Circles because it's a song that played on the BIM radio station when you were a student there the first time around.
Okay.
So why do I like these songs? Those songs remind me of the music I've heard for my entire life growing up. Like growing up in a house that loved like gospel music by like Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, commissioned, like in like the secular sense, they loved like Frank Beverly and Mays, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. Like this is the kind of music that most people from my background would be like comfortable with and familiar with. Like it sounds like home, you know, like not something that I immediately jump to in my own personal listening habits, but just like, oh yeah, like this would be bumping at like my uncle's house or like my grandmother's house. So, and it's cool to like, and these are artists that I'm not really familiar. I never knew who Hot Chocolate was before you recommended them to me. So I'm just like, damn, like how out of the loop, how separated am I from my own culture to not really like know who these folks are.
Well, have
That's
you have at least heard the song "You Sexy Thing," right?
That's them.
Yeah.
Oh, like I believe in miracles.
I believe. Yep.
Yeah. I know that one very well. I've heard that song all my life. Was not aware that that was the same band. See, look at that. Look at the cultural exchange happening right now.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
We need to meet up sometime.
I'm telling you, like these episodes, like what we do. Oh, bump the mic. What we do on like the Catr and Kenard podcast. When we have the chance to like put a camera on and like gaze into each other's eyes as we're in the same room, it'll be 10 times more. It'll be a little more interesting than what we're doing right now because like we won't have like the excuse of like looking at our computers to look things up. Like we have to like just keep the banter going the entire hour. Because I think that we if we did if we got together to record an episode, we probably have to do an hour just to like see that we wouldn't like run out of things to tell one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing about Billy Preston. I was reading after I recommended the song. I was reading his biography on iTunes, and I thought of you because I know you listen to gospel music. It says by age 10, he was playing keyboards with gospel diva Mahalia Jackson.
Wow, that's awesome. She's a legend. Wow, that's super cool.
And our musically inclined listeners will know that Billy Preston played with the Beatles and is often considered the fifth Beatle.
Really? Wow.
He, Eric Clapton, or George Martin are considered the fifth Beatles.
I see. That's
a debate. It says here in the biography, even backing the Beatles on their Let It Be album. And I guess I thought he was on other albums, but I definitely know he was on the song, which I love, by the Beatles. It's the end of their first, it's the end of the first side of Let It Be. No, wait, no, he was on Abbey Road, and it doesn't mention that. But I thought he was on I Want You, She's So Heavy.
I love that song's fire.
What's that?
I like that song.
Yeah, that's a really good song. I love the last part where it's the
outro is so tight. The outro is tight. Yeah.
Yeah. It just keeps looping over and over and over. And it's not a traditional ending to the song. It just goes out. It doesn't fade out.
It's abrupt. Yeah.
So Hot Chocolate and Billy Preston. So you like those songs?
Yeah. So now like the stage has been set for round 2 to begin. Give me your next 3 songs for round 2. What do you got for me?
Well, you're putting me on the spot because
you don't have your third freaking song, you jerk.
Yeah, I have it.
Come on.
But I have iTunes in front of me. And don't call me a jerk on the air. You called me something. No, I called you because you called yourself. We're not saying that on air. I called
myself a scumbag because I forgot to call you at noon.
We're not saying that on air. I don't want
to. It's fine. It's okay. Like I'm embarrassed that I forgot to call. Like it has been a long. Listen, I worked 7 straight days at my job, and I was out of sorts. So like it's taken me like.
Okay.
I'm still like. Give me the first two. Come on.
So are you going to write them down?
Yeah. This time I'm actually going to write these down.
Okay. I had it. It is okay. So it is the first song is going to be no, not that one. Is okay. So the artist, or do you want the song first?
Either or, man. I'm gonna get them both anyway.
Okay. So the name of the song is called Music for FOR A as in apple. Found FOUND, like I found something.
Music for I found. Okay.
And then the last word is harmonium. HARMONIUM. Harmonium.
Okay, who's the artist?
And the group is called Patrick Street.
Oh, Patrick Street. Okay. I have never heard of this song.
STREET, not ST period. They weren't lazy. They spelled their name out.
All right. Hit me.
The next one, the second song, is going to be. It's actually a single version. It's one word, every day.
Every day.
And then in parentheses, single version.
Bye.
And the artist is Carly, Carly, Commando, Comando.
That's Carly Commando or Harley Commando?
Carly with a C. C as in cat.
Okay, Carly Commando. I never heard of either of these artists. Interesting. Now we got to find a third. How are we going to?
Yeah.
How are we going to?
Do you have?
No! Oh no! Your third. I need your third first before you get mine.
Okay, but you do have yours.
Oh yeah, I do.
You know what? I'm going. I had songs bouncing around in my head. What was? Oh man, I have to mention the song "Sweetleaf." No, I'm not recommending that.
Why
not? It's okay song. It's not one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs.
Hey, like
we were talking about it earlier. That's why I'm bringing it up. It definitely is a drug song because in the beginning, and I believe it's Geezer Butler. The very beginning of the song is him coughing. That's what leads into the song. So drugs.
I know all about that stuff.
So what song am I going to recommend you? I'm trying to. I had a third one, and I'm not sure. I think. Oh man, I love that song. And
there, pick that one. There, whatever you said, whatever song you just reacting to, I want that one. Give it to me.
Okay. I actually don't know how to pronounce the authors, the group, so I'm going to spell it out for you.
Okay, hit me.
And it's actually from a CD called, because there's a couple versions and there's only one version I like. And
okay,
what is that? So the CD, so the song is called Exodus, and it starts with an E. EXODUS.
Okay.
The group, I pronounce, I'll spell it for you. F as in Frank, E as in Edgar, R as in Russell, R as in Russell, A as in Apple, N as in Knight, T as in Tom, E as in Edgar. So Ferrant or Ferranti.
I'm pretty sure it's Ferrant. Okay, go on.
And then the and symbol. And then I pronounce it Tiker. T as in Tom, E as in Edgar, I as in icicle, C as in cat.
Got it.
H as in Harry, E as in Edgar, R as in Russell.
All right.
And the CD,
okay.
And the CD, this is where where my favorite version is. All-time great instrumental hits, Volume 1.
It's instrumental.
There's an old-fashioned version that I don't like. It's okay, but my favorite version.
Not your preference,
And my version is 2 minutes and 57 seconds. So if you find a version that's different time version, don't listen to it.
Or does not include that in my judgment call. Okay, you've been a very great co-host. Now it's my turn to return the favor. The lineup of Kenards Kelvins for round 2 of March Catrness. We have, and let me tell you a quick story. It's like I got in your craw about not having your third. I was up late last night listening to my friends JD Myers and Chris Morley have a podcast called Weekly Discover, and they listen to music live as they talk to one another. And what I like to do when I listen to their show is listen to all the songs prior to the episode so I don't get confused about what I'm hearing. I want to know what I'm getting myself into. So I listen to all the songs on the release radar. They have like the Weekly Discover and the release radar portions of their show. And I'm on the 10th release radar at this point. I listen to all the songs, all 16 songs. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I want to recommend one of the songs that these two guys gave me for Friedman. And I'm like, which one will I choose? And I couldn't remember what episode I heard it on. And I'm like, I knew I had to choose it because I only had my two. I didn't have my third until last night. So like by the seat of my pants, I had to look up like the label that they were on because I knew that they were from Japan, but I knew they were on an American label. So I'm like, okay, what was their name again? It had some convoluted name. It'll be the first song that I recommend to you here. It is Dark Lights by Mouse on the Keys. Mouse on the Keys is three dudes from Japan, two keyboardists, one drummer. I think you're really gonna feel so like I think this might make you feel like emotional when you hear this song. It's like 7 minutes long. It is stupendous, brother. Song number 2, another instrumental, more like in the progressive metal realm. It is Chalk Teeth by Tuxa, which is Tosca, which is spelled Toska. Chalk Teeth by Tosca. The lead guitarist from that band, he was featured on this really great heavy metal cover of Africa by this European one-man studio. I believe I think they're called Stoned Gecko. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. I'll drop a link. It's this dude named Leo with a long last name that starts with an M. Big fan of his work. Stupendous musician. Great vocalist. Chalk Teeth by Tosca. And then the last one, one of my new favorite songs, it's Becoming the Memory by Royal Coda. Royal Coda is a super group, if you will, because we have Kurt Travis from Dance Gavin Dance and also from A Lot Like Birds. We also have the drummer from A Lot Like Birds in Royal Coda. The guitarist was from this band called Hail the Sun, but he's also featured in the band Cianvar, which is all, and the drummer from Royal Coda is also in Cianvar. And recently they added, did they add 2 guitarists? I don't remember. I'm gonna say no. The one guitarist they did add though is Will Swan, famously also known from Dance Gavin Dance. So we have all these stupendous musicians. I love that word, stupendous. Just making really fun, it's also in the progressive realm, but it's not as like heavy and like it's more like there's more melodies flowing out of the guitars and like soaring high vocals. So you are going to love this song. You just pinged me. Why'd you ping me?
I sent you the songs.
Thank you. I appreciate that because my headphones reacted because I still have Facebook up in another tab. So you have my final 3. I'm going to say them one more time for the audience here, and I'll do yours as well. The stage has been set for round 2 of March Cattrness. On the Mike's Maniacs side, we have Music for a Found Harmonium by Patrick Street, Every Day by Carly Commando, and Exodus by Ferranti and Tyker.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah. Look at that. And then on my side, Kenards Kelvins, we have Chalk Teeth by Tosca, Becoming the Memory by Royal Coda, and Dark Lights by Mouse on the Keys. I am very excited to hear your songs. I am even more excited for you to hear mine. Let's send it on home. We have 27 minutes. What did you want to talk to? What did you want to talk about? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Yeah, so I think there's some other things I wanted to say about the artists that I recommended. But let me just paste the third song because I sent you the 2. And then I forgot what. Okay, so
I wrote down the document. It's all good.
Yeah, just to help it.
That's fine.
Let's see, and then so I know I talked about Billy Preston doing the gospel or doing the whatever or
Miss Jackson.
Yeah, Miss Jackson. It's not the
good. You knew. You
Yeah.
knew. Good. That's
I
all
like that song. 244 Pastor Street. Okay, cool. So
Hey,
there's
before I say anything, before we do anything else in regards to March Caterness, I didn't include this in the beginning of the episode, like we have been doing faithfully. Last episode, I believe, we talked about the tremendous gift my mother gave to me, Miss Francine Owens. Hello, Mom. Mailed me like some tennis rackets, some shuttlecocks for badminton, and a lot of album covers from my own CD collection that I still have somewhere in the house. And I happen to have today Danger Days by My Chemical Romance. Did you ever heard that album before?
no.
It was the last album they put out before they decided to break up 2 years after the fact in 2013. They recently got back together this year for a reunion.
Gerard Ray got them back together.
Yeah, you know the vibes. Ray, Frankie, Mikey, like they're out here still like happily. I think are they all married? I think everyone but Mikey is married at this point, or at least they have families now. Yeah, I think all of them but Mikey have families, all raising kids, like moving. Like I'm pretty sure Frank and Ray still continue to write music full time, but Mikey and Gerard decided to become full-time comic book writers. So they're all like, "Oh, hey, it's time to get back on the MCR train." And the national tour is mostly sold out. Ticket prices are like absolutely disgusting. Ticketmaster, if you're listening, we don't like you. Not all of us are made of money. Just for the record.
I don't have anything to say about it.
All right, that's all I really wanted to say. If you haven't heard it before, Danger Days by MCR, stupendous, very fun rock and roll. Like a lot of they feature what's his space from they have they're good friends with the keyboardist from the Get Up Kids, and his fingerprints are all over this album. It's a really fun listen. That's all
I'll
I'd say.
look it up for you.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He has his own band, but I forget what his name is. He's
Gerard Ray
the Full Effect.
solo album.
Eh?
Did you know Gerard Ray did a solo album?
Yeah, Hesitant Alien. It's super good.
I think. Let's see. Get Up Kids.
Who's the keyboardist?
For what? The lead singer?
Not the keyboardist. Who's the keyboardist from Get Up Kids? I forget his name.
Let's see. It's the band made up of guitarist, bassist. Oh, it only names their doesn't. I'll just name the members here. Matthew Pryor, Jim Suptic, Robert Pope, and Ryan Pope.
What? They don't include. Maybe you're looking at the current lineup and not like the old lineup. Strange.
This is their first lineup.
Okay. Who plays keyboard in the Get Up Kids?
The Terrible Twos.
Yeah, James DeWeese. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, James DeWeese. DeWeese. Well, that's mystery solved. What else we got going on? There are like a plethora of things we wanted to just pinpoint on as we made our descent into our final half hour of the program. Did you write them down?
Almost 20. We're going to end on 420, and we talked about cocaine. So
not the same, not necessarily like the same substance that we mean to make reference to, but you know the vibes.
It just happened to end on 420.
We intentionally did that. Not gonna lie.
And we're coming up on that month.
And, that's true. Yeah.
Hey. So, and then May 4th is coming up. May the 4th be with you.
100%.
But anyway, one of the things I wanted to mention was, so I got to bring up that. So let's see. The songs that I recommended you. Do I talk about that? I was going to talk about. Oh, I remember where I was when I first heard.
Which one?
I'm going to bring up Maryland because all 4 songs I first heard when I was in Maryland. Everyone's a Winner. There was a radio station. I'm not going to mention. It's not HFS.
Mention them.
if we were being sponsored by them, maybe.
No, it doesn't matter. Like there we will have listeners in Maryland who may not listen to that station, and maybe they ought to. We ought to, as enthusiasts for this medium, to strongly push folks back to their local stations.
Jack FM.
There you go. Bam.
Okay. Jack FM. I first heard Everyone's a Winner on Jack FM. So Jack FM was when I first, and I remember exactly where I was when I listened to it. I was driving, and my brother was in my vehicle with me. He's been on a couple of our episodes, sort of. He's contributed.
By proxy.
Famously, last episode, he asked who would be longer lasting, Kendrick or the guy that wrote the box.
Roddy Ricch? Yeah, shout out to Roddy.
Hey, he said that quickly. Roddy Ricch. Anyway, so that was Daniel, my brother, and
come on the pod, Daniel.
He listened. He was listening to that song by Hot Chocolate when I was in the car, and I was specifically, my vehicle was on. We were in Anne Arundel County, which is where I grew up. Shout out to Anne Arundel County, and AAC, and we were in Millersville. Have you ever been to Millersville?
I don't think I've ever really been to Anne Arundel before, to be honest with you.
I went to Millersville Elementary. That's my elementary school. And I was on Veterans Highway, I believe. I haven't been to Maryland in a while, so but that's no excuse for me to forget what road I was on.
That's fine.
Anyway, so that's my thing about Everyone's a Winner. My second was Billy Preston and Cheryl Lynn. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I need to look at.
What is on your mind, my friend? What else is on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about. I had a question for you. So
please ask me. I'm excited.
I'm on iTunes right now, and I'm going under store, and I go to account.
Sure.
Under music quick links on the right, you go to your account and you type in, you put in your password and your Apple ID.
His password is Pickles.
What's that?
Nothing. Just telling people your password.
Oh, you're sharing my password?
Oh yeah, I know what it is. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I definitely do not.
I don't know what you're saying, but anyway, you're talking behind my back while you're talking to me.
Hush up. I'm not telling people your password. I was joking.
Once you log in, you're gonna go to. I want to go to where it shows all the songs that I've ever purchased.
I've done this before. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where that was. Is that most? That's under your purchase history. So you go to see all. You go to see all. And my question is, I noticed this sometime last month. So it says it's buffering right now. It says loading purchase history. And I am going to drink my nondescript water. No company. I love to mention sponsors. I really would. But I don't have money to pay.
Ayo, just because you name drop a brand does not mean that they're a sponsor. We are obviously not sponsored by any other product, but we are open to being so because we are broke.
We are broke, but we need to talk about this off air. So if you go to purchase history, I have it up, and I'm looking at songs. Why is it? No, it's not showing this. Why is it? You go to So here's what you do. You go to a song. So let's see. What song should I pull? So I'll mention this. let's see. No, let me see. Okay, so I mentioned this before. I bought my brother for Christmas
An album, yes.
the
The Black Crowes album.
the what?
It was an album by the Black Crowes, a live album, as I recall.
No, that was for me.
Oh,
I
okay.
I bought, and I was going to talk about that, but let me finish this subject. I bought him there was a super deluxe version. I'm scratching my belly button live. And I'm going to talk about Stone Temple Pilots here. We mentioned Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Third episode, and Aramade said, "Rest in peace, Scott Weiland." So rest in peace, Scott Weiland. But anyway, I bought him on a super deluxe version. They threw in 5 or 6 tracks from their MTV Unplugged CD. There are a couple other songs. If you actually, like, I guess, go to Amazon and buy that CD, but they don't throw those bonus songs in on this super deluxe version of their album. I think it's Core. And but if you click on, like, I clicked on the song Sex Type thing, which they did for their live MTV Unplugged, and it says for seller, when you click on the word more under the price over on the right, it says under their seller Warner. Now, Warner, I know, is a record label, but if you went to, like, the Masters of Reality, which was a Black Sabbath album, but was also an album I bought for my dad for Christmas, which was by the group Masters of Reality, who named themselves after the Black Sabbath album. If you click more under the price, the seller is Audio B.
Okay.
Now, I thought the seller would be iTunes. Why?
Yeah.
Explain this. Because I remember seeing another song from CD Baby, and I don't remember which one it was. I know of CD Baby because I've heard that they sell CDs. That's why they have the name CD in it. And what I don't have a definitive place on the internet where I buy my CDs, but when I was looking into finding out more places besides Amazon and iTunes, I heard of CD Baby. So why is the seller iTunes? Explain this to me, Chris.
Why aren't they? Well, that's because, like, places like Google Play, Amazon, Apple, they are just like, they don't produce the album. You know what I'm saying? They don't manage any of the bands that, like, they are just like the house from which you go in to buy the music. You know what I'm saying? In the same way, like, I used to work at FYE. So there's no way you're gonna see like the FYE logo on the album that you purchased from the store.
Yes.
It's the store. You know what I mean? Like, Bezos doesn't have a label. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like Virgin Mobile or Red Bull or like Mountain Dew that, like, have their own, like, imprints, which artists that can, like, release projects for artists and such. It's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I also recall, and this kind of segues into it, about when we were talking about the Snarky Puppy album, and, like, I sent you like a playlist of all of, like, the video components of the songs that you heard. So I want you to see the people making the music. I want you to see the audience's reaction. And you're like, yo, I'm not trying to watch this because this looks like a fan upload, because the person who made the playlist was a user like you and I. And I assured you that the uploader of the content was the actual, like, production company that gets a kickback for, like, the views and the ads on the video when you, like, click on said video. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the easiest way for you to, like, verify that, like, the appropriate, like, parties are, like, uploading the content, look at the name of the channel, look at the description of said video, and, like, most of the time an entity like Snarky Puppy's label, or like you know, like, what's a label people like Sumerian Records, or like Rise Records, or like Equal Vision Records, they'll have, like, the verified check mark next to their account. like be it on that video or when you go to the channel page on the website. You know what I'm saying? Tell me, do you follow where I'm going with it?
I guess. So the seller here on iTunes isn't the record label.
When you're clicking on like the more part of the song of the thing that you purchased, you're just seeing like, because it's like, think like, sorry, let me see if I can
do your iTunes. Can you do that?
I'm actually on Sarah's computer because I was having an issue with my laptop when I was trying to get ready for the show. I'm trying to think of like labels that
talk to me. We're
no. What I'm saying is that I'm trying to think of like a proper example of what I mean. Okay, so like say Paramore, right? Paramore has been on Fueled by Ramen for the entirety of their professional career. So like say you have a song like Ignorance. Ignorance is the song. Paramore is the artist. Brand New Eyes is the album. The label is Fueled by Ramen. Fueled by Ramen is a subsidiary of Atlantic Records. And I'm pretty sure Atlantic Records is owned by a bigger company than them. You know what I'm saying? So like if you had that song purchased, when you click on the more, you'd see that label, either of the two labels, probably both. And you would not see, say, like a Google as like the owner of that product, because they do not own the song. They just happen to sell the song because like the label approached them like, yo, we want your customers to buy our artist music. So it's like, okay, like we'll host it here, and then like everyone gets a piece. You know what I'm saying? Google gets some money, Atlantic gets some money, Fueled by Ramen gets some money, Paramore gets some money. You know what I'm saying? Like that
we've got 10 more minutes till
9 minutes actually. Shoot, we're early. Nice.
Second of all, during our hiatus, I will go back and be a good host and listen to our episodes and go back through every episode. And I definitely need a hiatus. So is there anything that you would like to throw in? Because the thing about the Black Crows, we're going to save, per your advice, we're going to save till after Mad Catr, the Catrness, whatever you call it. Sorry.
Whatever.
When we come back from the break, we'll talk about the Black Crows issue, because I had an issue with my iTunes, and it's still an ongoing issue, but we'll talk about that when we come back.
I'm not even surprised, honestly. Like, I'll say this on the air because I want like Apple and like Tim and all the dudes who work on like on Apple to know that like, yo, like regular everyday people like you and I have these issues with their product, and like they need to like be aware and see to it that like the people who like run that program, run that site, they give the consumers all the best possible information on how to fix the problem, because we don't have a lot of money, like we said it before on the show. And so when we spend $15-$20 on an album or a bunch of songs, we want to be sure that like when we do that, we're not wasting our time. Because I can certainly say that I'll go through my iTunes right now on my library and like, oh, I forgot that I bought that. And sometimes I want to be sure that like, oh, like if I bought a song, even if I've forgotten about it, I want to be sure that I can always get my hands on it at any time. I, for the most part, put a lot of the things that I purchased or collected over the years onto Google Play, because they have a great way of uploading all of like the things that you have like acquired. And I'm not sure if I'm going to hit the limit, but like with the way that I hoard songs, like they're going to be like, yo, you're going to need to like go somewhere else with all these songs. Because I love going onto Paste Magazine's websites because they're giving away free music every month. And like, it's opening my eyes to more stuff that I may have not been paying attention to.
Because you and I used to do the thing when iTunes did this, where they would do a free song to download.
I miss that. If they brought, oh man, I would go back to the iTunes so fast if they brought back their free song of the week. I might shoot them a tweet like, yo, give me some more, like, because like right now in the world of streaming, the big bosses are Spotify and Apple. And there is no way I would ever go to Apple, because in order to utilize their product, you really have to have an iPhone. That's one thing. And like, you got to pay. And Spotify has the free option. Thankfully, due to like some generous people in my own life, I don't use the free version of Spotify. I use the premium version. And even if I lost that, I still use that product because I still have access to everything that I've saved on that program. And even though like I use iTunes to house the music that I purchased and the ones I use on my iPod, I don't really think since I got jilted by Apple when I tried to purchase a Dance Gavin Dance album, like nothing's made me want to come back because they never got back to me about fixing the problem. Like I don't pre-order music. I maybe pre-order music on 2 occasions, and ironically, it was both Dance Gavin Dance. But the first time, it was a physical product that I picked up at a store. Hot Topic, as a matter of fact. But the second time, when I tried to like pre-order Artificial Selection, like I put up the $10 and I got like the lead single first, but on the day the album came out, I didn't get the download. And maybe you recall that time when U2 put out that Songs of Innocence album,
yes,
and it has appeared in your library. Like
I wasn't upset, by the way.
By the way, the album is good. Like Bono's like he's egotistical or whatever. Like that album is good. Like for the most part, I maybe get like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like it's good. Like why are we complaining about free stuff? First of all,
let's segue. I got something to segue real quick. I'm going to mention another upbeat song from Joshua Tree by U2.
Which song?
Trip Through Your Wires.
I don't know that one. I'd listen to that later.
Have you heard that song?
I haven't actually, no.
So I am definitely not going to mention this radio station.
Man.
And first of all, I kind of forgot what the name of the radio station is.
Oh, I can't be mad at you for it. I can't clown you for it.
But there was a radio station in Maryland, and they would play album tracks. That was
that's what I want more of.
I guess that was their crux of their playlist, and they would play I guess what they call deep cuts songs that weren't hit singles. And I remember them playing Trip Through Your Wires. That's an upbeat song. It's got it kind of feels like they're stealing from like Bruce Springsteen a little bit because it's got harmonica and
they're buddies.
Got that Bruce Springsteen kind of feel.
I don't think they're the style. They're buddies.
What's that?
They're close, those two bands.
Well, I mean,
friends influence friends. You know what I mean? Friends influence friends all the time. You know.
I mean, they're both arena bands. I'll give you that.
Well, and like I recall one time I was at a friend's house and we were watching TV and U2 was playing a live gig, but Bono was not there. And Bruce was filling on lead vocals. And that was interesting because, you know, they're not the same kind of singer. And you can see Bruce trying to like really hit those high notes that Bono can hit, but like he's giving it all that he's got. And it was really, really cool. Kind of like you, kind of like this show. It's the last 3 minutes. I just want to thank everybody for listening. Our one person who appeared during like the first half hour of the show. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm gonna let you know this right now on the air. On episode 10, I'm going to give my mother the link to the show. So be on your best behavior. Okay. Like
for that,
like, yeah, 100%. Like, because she emailed me recently, like, oh hey, like, happy to see you guys are enjoying making the show so much. How can I listen to it? And so I'm like, hey,
be a Catholic for just one day.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Remember I said I'm agnostic?
Oh, man, my mom's a Baptist, bro. Don't do all that. Okay. Just be on your best behavior. Like, you recorded with your own mother in the room. Like, just
haven't I always been on my best behavior?
Yeah, sure you have. Sure you have.
First, I haven't.
No, I'm giving you a hard time. Of course you have, obviously.
Yeah, I have.
Look at here. Let's wrap it.
Off air, that's a different question.
Yeah, no judgment. Let's wrap it up. This has been the Catr and the Kenard podcast. We are completed. We have wrapped up round 1 of March Catrness. To all of our listeners, we love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Keep expanding your taste. Try out new things. Wash your hands, first of all. And like on a silly note, it is March. Listen to March Madness by Future. And just know that like your favorite song doesn't just belong to you. Your favorite song belongs to the streets.
Okay.
Michael, my friend, it's
I'm
always
looking
so much
forward
fun.
to these 3 songs you recommended me.
Yeah, I'm going. Like, listen, like I have guests over right now making cupcakes in the kitchen. But like, once everyone's all gone and it's all late, I'm gonna check out these songs and get back to you as soon as possible. After these next 3 days, I have about 4 days on the job, but then 3 days off, and I think that's why I want to record round two. I will give you more information about that when the cameras are off. So in the meantime, hey Michael,
Hey, what?
say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. We're out of here.
We're out of here.